Hey everybody, JP Killa. Welcome to another episode of JP Tries to Figure Out What the Hell He Was Doing on the previous episode. As I recall, things were going pretty well last time. We got a lot of food on the table, or on the ground, moving to a table, hopefully eventually. A conduit exploded, I guess? That's unfortunate. And a wall is being built. Oh, and Dell's building a shed. Ah, yes. Okay. So what's JP up to? JP's hauling rice. Let's have him start cutting this stuff down in here so we all have space to actually drop stuff. Disease, infection, cheetah. Cheetah? Cheda? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh yeah, what am I doing with these guys? Right hand cut off. Am I keeping these guys? What are we doing? We're trying to keep her growing, but her hand is cut off. So that means she's going to be in bad shape. Falcon men, so I don't get any benefit from letting them go. So I might actually just start harvesting organs and being a dick, but I don't know. I don't think that our mood as a colony is in really good enough shape to handle cutting people up for their organs. It's really nice to have that option, but I really don't want to go there just yet. So we're going to release this person. Way too difficult to recruit. The growing stat is nice, but I don't want to replace their hand. That would take, it's way too expensive right now to try to get a bionic arm from traders. So we're just going to get rid of him. Cheda is, anything good? Just the infection left. Well, I say just the infection as though it's not a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. Melee animals cooking could take over cooking, but that's right. I had a 14-year-old female. I only kept her because I was feeling pity for her. Are we still trying to get this guy? Yeah. What was he going to be good for? Dumb labor, social construction. I don't know. Maybe we should just let that guy go too. Meat. All right. Yeah, I'll take meat. Someone wants to actually go up there and haul it, which I doubt will happen anytime soon, because I don't think I have any JPs, my quote-unquote hauler. But right now he is managing the fields, maintaining the fields, and he's cutting all this stuff down so we can set up a shed over here. So I think this is okay. I think you can actually have roofs that span that much space. I guess we're gonna find out, because if space does not support a roof, then Dell will not build it. But he's building it, so good. So this will be our stockpile, our primary stockpile, and this is where I'm gonna get into some of the nuanced stockpile management, which is pretty important. So jealous, depressive, feeling terrible, rebuffed by Moogie, ugly environment, shared bedroom. This guy is really kind of a mood liability. So I think we're going to have to cut out some more space for bedrooms so that he can have a room of his own. Really, I kind of put myself into a weird situation with this this location pick, because I don't really have a lot of good space to expand into. I might do something different than defense zones over my crops. I might try to do something a little different, so if we go that route, then I can feel a little better about like using this space for building houses and such, and then we can build like a bunker out here to funnel attacks in and have something a little bit more expressly designed for the purposes of killing people that I don't like, or more specifically, don't like me. I don't really care about them. If they just chill out, I'd be happy to have a beer with them or two. Anyway, freezers. Exactly what I was talking about. So basically what we do, we just clear everything and we keep food on the table, but I'm going to keep meals off. This is basically specifically for meals. Keep it close to both the stove and the door so everyone has easy access to it. over time will increase the size of our increase the amount of meals that we have in storage, and so I'll start using some of this space for it. One thing I did in my other colony that I liked, that I'll probably do later in this colony, is I actually split this in half, so that like this half would be all meat and this half would be all vegetables. And the way fine meals work is you need both vegetarian, so any kind of vegetable, and then ingredients is specifically referring to meat or animal products. So you need 5 of each in order to produce a fine meal, and so having this actually physically split in half gives you a good sense of, it not only gives you a good sense of you know, what your balance is, but you also the chef does, well, I don't know how true this is, but they seem to tend to take from supplies closer to them, so they should spend less time walking over raw food in their quest to grab their ingredients for the meal that they're cooking. So this will be the shed. This will be called the shed. That's what I always call my big general storage areas. And for right now, it's just going to store everything except corpses and food. I hope I didn't change this, because this is also supposed to store animal corpses, and I did remove that. And the freezer needs to store animal corpses for butchering. So basically everything is just going to get stored in here, and once hauling gets back on the menu, JP should start clearing all this stuff out, the blocks, the wood, the steel, just leave the corn and stuff in there. And then once we've got that, we'll start hunting. So these Muffalo are prime targets. I am kind of tempted to try to... holy crap. I have never seen so many raspberry bushes. That's a lot of raspberries. So Muffalo, I'll come back to that. They're pretty important. So raid. Falcon men are attacking immediately. There are 4 of them. There's a grenade, there's a pistol, incendiary launcher, and a sniper rifle. This is trouble. This actually has a decent chance of just killing us outright. We have no power with which we can fuel our power up connected rate. There's only 89 leftover watts, so we're actually not going to be able to benefit from our turret because of that the power explosion, or the power conduit overload, or whatever it's called. So Mustache will hang out. Retro is gonna do his flanking maneuvers, hopefully, so I'll just have him hang out over here. I still want to keep Mustache away from the conflict because I don't want the chinchillas getting killed, and in fact I'm going to actually draft Mustache and I'm going to just throw him in the stockpile. Or actually I'll throw him back into the chinchilla bedroom, and hopefully those chinchillas will turn back around and get in there. I really don't want them catching on fire and dying. Where are they? Oh shit, okay. So yeah, this is dangerous. This is not a very good situation. But now we do actually have enough power that we can turn this on. So I'm going to designate power toggle. Oh, yes, I'm a genius. I set it up so that way I can just do a reconnect order on it, which doesn't require intervention. Alright, so this pistol guy should go down pretty easily. These guys have me worried, but the incendiary launcher person is gonna get screwed, and we're just gonna have Retro run over and cut this guy's head off. Hopefully before the turret gets blown up. Retro's down. Oh, I wasn't managing the grenades. They're fleeing. Okay. Dell, start putting out the fire. Mustache. Actually, are you the best candidate for doing this? Yoshiko. Did I also draft Yoshiko? I did not intend to do that. Yoshiko. Rescue Retro. Okay. So we survived, but this definitely could have gone better. We're gonna have to quickly reconstruct our freezer, and I think we're gonna do it out of granite, which I think we have plenty of. So we're gonna take the turret, disconnect it from the grid, and then we're going to start reconstructing our freezer. Fortunately, it's cold enough outside that this stuff should stay refrigerated, so it's not going to spoil very quickly. JP, you can be undrafted. I think all of these people are just outright dead, so we'll take all their stuff and we'll hopefully be okay. Strip. Oh, that's Retro's sword. Oh, crap. We're gonna need to make a new sword. Make it out of steel? Yep. Okay. I think it got blown up in the grenade, so it lost a bunch of HP, so now its damage is it's actually not as bad as I would have expected. But we'll still see if we can roll a higher quality sword. So we will... Come on, mark this corpse for stripping. And then we still have graves up there, plenty of graves, so that's not a problem. I do need someone prioritizing hauling. Right now I have Yoshiko prioritizing cleaning, which, excuse me, which is not so much of a concern right now, so hopefully Yoshiko will get on this. Excuse me. Feeling a little sickly. Alright, he's working on the wall now. Okay. So we're in okay shape. This guy is working hard, filling up our battery. JP's harvesting. Are the chinchillas? Yeah, it does kind of look like the chinchillas are eating this stuff. I'll have to keep a closer eye on it. I'm only hesitating because these still do add up to 5. Or it's a multiple of 5. But maybe that still doesn't mean anything. I don't know. We'll find out. Retro, how are you doing? You are okay. Good. A lot of things shredded, but they're healing, so I assume that those shreds will go away. Shredded, I guess, is just the damage type of grenades, which is absolutely fucking horrifying, if you ask me. Anyway, so Yoshiko's hauling those away. And I think this is kind of a wake-up call that we're really going to need to up our game in terms of defenses. And again, having 2 melee people as some of the primary defenders is really going to cause problems. The more shooters you have, the better, and we've only got 2 guns. So I guess the other thing I would be hoping for is that this Attack Chinchilla government program gets off the ground and we don't have to worry about getting a few chinchillas killed every now and then. Which is possibly kind of a horrifying thing to say, but you know, that's what they're here for. They're here to sacrifice their lives for the good of the colony, just like, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, like every other colonist in here. They're all expendable in their own way. Yes, even you, Moogie. So don't get complacent. You know, everyone is just a threat away from death, and that's kind of one of the main themes of this game, if I'm being honest. Just a step away from death. So we'll continue issuing some of these plant cutting orders, just so we can have some of this space cleared. And I think I'm gonna actually cut all of this as well, and then we're gonna start using this as our next house space, and see how that goes. So I'm gonna try something a little different. Hopefully takes up less space. I'm gonna do away with needing that this little entryway here, and I'm just going to do 5x6 bedrooms. We'll do it along here. I guess we can set it up right here. We can keep it kind of close to the rest of the colony. So that's 5x6 in the wrong direction. So this is the size of the bedroom, but I need the walls. So that's got the wall there, and another wall, 5x6, wall, 5x6. And I know they're saying 5x7, don't worry about it. So we do... Actually, am I doing this right? 3, 6, yeah. Multi-analyzer. So we don't have the resources to build this. That's okay, we're just going to get started on... I would have this researched by now, but I don't think we're going to be able to make use of this for a while. So... I think I might actually go with hydroponics. I'm kind of worried about our food supply, so heading this off would be a good idea. That was probably like the smartest decision I've made so far in this colony. Hydroponics is good as a technology, so it's not like I'm doing anything groundbreaking by choosing to research it, but I typically don't need to do it. So normally I have my food situation figured out well in advance. Oh, excuse me. So let's see. How's our granite looking? How much granite do we have? Not enough to finish this house. So I think we're gonna make this out of wood as well. I do prefer building. I guess I have to qualify this. I definitely used to prefer making buildings out of stone, but I've kind of switched over to, especially in these very woody biomes, to instead opt for wood, because there's just a surplus of wood around here, and as long as you're able to manage fire situations properly, you don't have to worry too much about it, about having wood. I guess you do have to worry about, as you saw, it only took one grenade to blow holes in our freezer. But honestly, I'm not really worried about holes getting blown in our bedrooms. They're not primary targets for raiders, at least with the locations that I'll be building them. So, whoops. So they should be okay. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Alright. Oh, 5. That's 2, 4. There we go. Alright. So there's that. There's that. Then we build doors, which I'm just going to copy from here, rather than going through the menus. I find that even with all this time that I've put into this game, I still have a hard time navigating the build menus. I just never seem to know where anything is. So we got the stone chunks hauled out yet? No, not yet. I actually don't need to haul these now. Hopefully these will get hauled before too long. Oh, no, yeah, this is a stone yard. They should be getting hauled. Yoshiko still has the backlog of stuff, though, from getting stuff out of the freezer. So this actually is kind of nifty, though, because she's going to be in this nice dynamic of hauling something from this side down to here, and then something from the freezer up here. So she has a nice bit of efficiency going on, having hauling in both directions. And our power cut down again. I think we may have too much consumption on the grid, so I'm probably going to need to set up another power plant. And I think what I'm actually going to do is set up a solar plant, solar generator. It does kind of fit in here. I don't really like that though. I've set it over. I don't want to put it near the front of the colony either. This is always the challenge, isn't it? Trying to figure out where to put your power plants. I could expand this out. I don't know why I decided to build it in, other than to keep it close to our buildings, which is really kind of a dumb idea, if I have to be honest. So, yeah, I don't know. Tough decision. I could put it back here, actually. The solar plant would fit real nice in here. So, we'll put a haul order on this, because they're all going to have to get hauled out of there anyway. And we'll just drop the solar generator right there. And we'll be golden. So that'll give us a little extra power, more consistent output during the day. It's vulnerable to eclipses. But you know, overall, it's definitely you can sustain a colony on just solar power, as long as you've got the batteries figured out. So it is the 7th of fall. We have a hard snow. It's -4 degrees Celsius outside. We have no produce in our freezer, and we are not about to grow any more in these fields. This is probably all going to die soon. So this is actually terrible news. This is awful, terrible. I can't even... we're in trouble. So JP, I'm gonna issue a hunt order. but I'm actually going to do this slightly differently. I'm just going to draft these guys, and I'm just going to have them shoot Muffalo until I can't shoot Muffalo anymore. And I'm also going to issue a harvest order. That's really far away to be harvesting stuff, but I've never seen such a concentrated source of... I remember... Oh, hey, look at all this. Yeah. So we can grab all of these when we have a chance. I remember going, at some point, going through the map trying to find berries in kind of a desperation move. So yeah, the Muffalo. As I was trying to get to earlier, they're a great tame animal to tame and have in your colony. They produce milk and wool. I've said this before. They eat a lot. I've said that before. And they do produce young at a pretty substantial rate, so it's even relatively viable to just harvest them for their meat, I guess, in addition to the other services they provide. Alright, so we got one. We are going to allow it for hauling. So I think probably just the meat from maybe like 3 Muffalo will get us through, so I want to see if I can keep both a male and a female alive. So I think there was a male and female over in this corner. So if I change my mind during the cold season, we'll have the opportunity to still tame a breeding pair. We'll never do hauling. Thanks a lot. Oh, perfect. I know the perfect workaround. Don't rescue this. Prioritize hunting it. Not assigned to hunting? Not Yoshiko. Who are you? Dell. Dell. You have a gun now. You should hunt. So now if I just issue a regular hunt order on regular, less dangerous animals, then he'll go out and handle it on his own. So Muffalo do... I guess not as much as I was afraid they would, but they do tend to get ornery when you shoot them. So the reason I drafted them and was keeping control over them was just to make sure that if they went mad and tried to attack us, that I had full control and could navigate that sticky situation. So we've got some food for a while. I think I still have the butcher creature order up right. So once JP gets back here, he should be prioritizing butchering these, and I'm gonna have to keep an eye on these guys so that no one tries to just eat the corpse, which does happen from time to time. JP, I really can't have you doing this. Is Yoshiko... Okay, she's just hauling it. Okay. So now, clear the prioritized work, now he's cooking. Alright, so now we're in okay shape. JP's making meals, we don't have to worry about that too much anymore. So now I'm going to set... are we out of... We must be out of wood. No, we're not out of wood. What's Dell doing? Get back to work. We'll set a floor order for this stuff as well. And then we'll start moving and building beds. So we have 1,000 hay, exactly 1,000. That is like spooky. And I did see that chinchilla consuming hay. It ate 1 hay, so this is actually really promising that we should be able to feed a pretty large chinchilla army on a relatively small amount of hay. So I probably won't ever be growing much more hay than this this year. And in fact, you know, depending on how this holds up, I might not even bother growing it next year. Well, I'll need to grow a little bit. Maybe one... I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright, we got Onip. Onip is more melee, more social, more construction. So, let's see. What is retro? He's basically the same thing, but he can craft. So, despite it going against the general character of a bartender, I'm actually going to take retro off of wardening, and I'm going to leave that up to Onip. And then retro will be free to focus pretty much entirely on crafting, which in my opinion is where I really wanted him to begin with. So with that in mind, retro goes off, Booze King goes on, and we're no longer going to call him anything but Booze King. As long as I can remember And you know what? I'm going to I'm going to take advantage of this feature. I almost never rename my colonists because I do tend to I do enjoy the meta of like, okay, you know, these are characters with their own stories, and I'm going to appreciate them for who they are, and I don't need to make them fit my narrative. So this whole colony has been kind of a different experience by giving everybody their own names, and you know. But this is now Booze King, and he will be always known as Booze King. And, alright, so are we even trying to recruit this person? We never started trying, so this will be Onip's job. Or, Booze... Wow, I spent all that time and energy making sure that I was going to refer to him as, Booze King, and then I immediately call him Onip, a name which no longer appears on this screen. Alright, well... Our crops are screwed, but I think we're gonna have enough. We'll have access to enough meat, and I'm actually gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna issue a straight hunt order on these Muffalo. They provide a lot of meat, and I want to make sure that we have enough to get us through the winter, and especially if we're gonna be taking on colonist number 7 and 8. We have a lot of mouths to feed, and we're already feeding this person. So, and since we do have that many people in the mix, I'm going to increase the order of meals from 10 to 30. You can copy stockpile settings, and this is my meal repo. This must have just been built. I really hope that we're not going to run into power issues even when we have both of these up. So yeah, meal repo. We're going to increase this up to 30. So then JP will get on increasing our meal reserves. Mustache can't research because and I'm going to prevent him from jumping back there just to realize that there's no power. So he'll haul. Still kind of my fault because I can't manage our power well enough yet. Really should have had more than just the one power plant for a while now. So it looks like we are back in equilibrium, so we'll have Mustache flick this back on, and then he should get to work on researching. And that's not what he's doing. Now he's doing it. There seems to be a little bit of a refractory period after you flick a toggle, flick a switch, before they actually recognize that it's on. Booze King, what are you doing? I forgot to fix all of your other stuff. You should never smith, you should never tailor. I'm okay with you crafting if you have nothing to do, just because that's basically just stone blocks. But I really want you to be, you'll be the hauler, or you'll be the cleaner, so that way you spend more time in and around the colony doing your cleaning work. Yoshiko doesn't have prisoners to worry about interacting with on a regular basis, so she can afford to run around and be far away from the group. So I'm actually going to turn your crafting off because I never want you to do it. I'm also going to turn your research off because I never want you to do that either. You're just taking away precious time from Mustache's research. Okay, next up, fire foam is tempting, but I can usually manage fire on my own. So I think we'll actually go to drug production. And we'll see about, rather than just relying on beer to... what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of just relying on beer to... Oh my god, I can't finish this thought. Using beer to make silver. I'm going to see if I can make smoke leaf joints and sell those, because I checked recently in my other colony, and it seems like they actually sell for a lot more than beer, and they're probably a lot easier to make as well. So we'll see how that goes. It'll even be a good outlet for Retro and Mugi to practice their crafting as needed, so we'll keep that in mind. Why are these not getting hauled? Yoshiko, what are you doing all day? Oh, you're spending literally all day walking around this thing because I don't want to cut this stuff down. But that's almost over, and I'm not going to have to worry about this much more in the future, so it's not really worth trying to mine that out now. So what's everyone doing? JP's finally getting around to plant cutting. Mustache is supposed to be researching or training the animals. Oh, we have another baby. Excellent. Cool. And Hunger has a bond with Mustache. As well he should. It is a pretty cool name for a chinchilla. I will give you that. Anyway. So I hear that I thought that these could actually have like litters of up to 2 or 3, but they've just been having them 1 at a time, and they're all males. I'm curious. I don't know. Well, whatever. If we can get some more, there's going to be a lot of like inbreeding and stuff like that. But fortunately, the game doesn't really get into the whole like genetics and such, so you don't have to worry about like the chinchillas getting any genetic defects or crippling diseases as a result of the inbreeding. It'll be totally fine. I don't remember why I was looking at this, but I was reading somewhere that like there are actually some species that actually prefer inbreeding to like we call it the normal, but preferring mates that are of a more distant lineage. I don't really remember why that is, but you can kind of see it, right? Like the inbreeding does allow for a lot of pretty easy access for genetic defects to just continue to exist. The idea of recessive genes continuing on. That's basically the problem there. But on the flip side, you risk having perhaps recessive good genes from getting filtered out, and you'd be able to preserve them better if you were inbreeding. So this has been kind of a weird discussion on animal rearing and what's the animal husbandry. And we're talking about chinchillas here, who are basically just being raised to be suicide soldiers, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think we will move on to medicine production, just so we have that available. Basically, you need some... you get the right components, and you can turn those components into this good medicine here. Regular medicine's pretty good. You want as much of it as possible, but you can't grow it. It doesn't grow on trees, you know. You have to start with, oh god. Oh, 5 boomalopes. 6 boomalopes. This is a problem. So, these guys are gonna explode on as soon as they die. So I'm moving these guys as far out as possible to deal with this threat. I'm also gonna spread them out a little. Elk, caribou. We might be hunting these for their meat as well. So we'll spread them out a little bit. These things are pretty fragile. So we should be able to kill them, but we're gonna have to be on like serious fire duty when this is done, or hopefully it'll start snowing or raining as soon as the fire spreads to a certain amount. The storyteller does actually do it. See, that's the fire from 1 boomalope, and when there's 6 of them, we really don't stand a chance of putting all this fire out. Like, this is just not gonna happen. So I need you to back up. Alright, so they're all on fire now, and you're about to see a fire get really bad. It happens a fair bit in RimWorld that fires get a little out of control, but you know, there's really not much you can do about it. So I'm going to undraft JP, I'm going to have Del finish off this boomalope, and we're just going to kind of watch the world burn. And in fact, I'm going to try to proactively orders cut plants. I'm going to try to prevent the fire from spreading into our colony if it does not, if snow doesn't come soon. Fire can only spread a certain amount. from individual tile to tile. So if I cut down all these plants, then it'll be hard for the fire to spread from, here into our colony. This is kind of a weak spot, but I'm going to be banking on snow or rain helping out before that becomes a problem. And if it does become a problem, there's actually not that much plantness that I would have to cut. We should be good just by removing that all as well. So hopefully JP's going to get on this. He is. This is raging pretty slowly, actually. This isn't spreading very quickly. I'm guessing the temperature has something to do with it. Dell is wandering around. Hopefully he doesn't get hypothermia and die, which is a distinct possibility. It's getting pretty cold out, and when people go into a daze, they tend to remove all their clothing for reasons I still really don't understand. Drives me nuts. But they do it. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of watch this fire. And yeah, it's not spreading really at all. It's spreading a little bit, but normally it gets a lot worse than this, a lot faster. Hunter lacks his ranged weapon, so Dell dropped his weapon, he dropped his hat, he dropped his shirt, he dropped his pants. The coat's gonna come off in a little bit. Mustache, can you bring the shotgun inside so it doesn't deteriorate? I really need to do something about this guy. He's just constantly having issues because he's depressive and he doesn't have an impressive bedroom. And that's like minus 20 mood right out of the gate, and it's really not good. Really not good. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I need to... Hopefully Moogie will get this sculpture up soon enough. We can use some tiling in a bedroom that I make for him, Dell's precious little bedroom. And in fact, I'm gonna do that. It's a little bit of a waste of wood at this point, but wood is not terribly a tragic thing to lose out on. And the snow came down and extinguished the fire as I was hoping it would. This is a very small amount of damage for a fire. Mustache and Moogie are getting married, while Dell continues to just kind of be a naked asshole. Whatever. And they're not gathering at the marriage spot. So what was the point of me even doing that? God damn. Whatever. Congratulations, Mustache and Moogie, you were made for each other. And this would have been a nice buff for Dell if he just didn't break. Because the wedding is a 25 buff for everyone who attends it, and then Moogie's gonna have a nice 50 buff, plus 20. It's yeah, it's a 2-season long mood buff that they just have plus 70. They're indefatigable. It's a fun word to say. Whatever. So it's raining, but the snow isn't melting. Walk speed 76. Dell collapsed! God damn it, you fucking moron. You have no idea how much I hate you, Dell. Why will you not? What? Yoshiko. Moogie. Are we gonna leave? I'm right-clicking on you as much as I can. God damn it. If this guy dies, I'm not gonna be too upset. Honestly, like, he is such a drama queen. I can't stand it. I'm getting salty. So actually this could be a good opportunity. I'm gonna have Booze King work on construction. I need to be prepared for the inevitable idea that Dell is not gonna always be around, because if he does not kill himself from hypothermia, I very well could kill him myself. Alright, we also need to do something about snow. I didn't realize how much of a speed debuff it was, even at just thin. So we're going to have Booze King help out with this. So he's my cleaner, and cleaning is apparently the umbrella for snow clearing. That's okay. I won't begrudge it too much. Maybe we'll expand. No, we gotta keep this small so he spends as little time as possible clearing snow. So we'll have a 2 wide there. We'll have enough to encompass the chess table. And actually, we really should have enough to get up to the shed. Dell, did you fall asleep outside? Oh, you don't have... Oh, god damn it. I am upset. I am incredibly upset at this man right now. Alright, so what's the quickest I can... Booze King, this is your bed now. Don't sleep out here. Alright, so I need to go from 12 to negative like 5 or so. And that's close. So Dell, I need you to get up and put on your fucking jacket. Because I don't have heaters yet, which is going to have to change imminently. I should have taken care of this too, but that's on me at this point. Alright, so we're going to have 1 heater heat, 2 bedrooms apiece. Are you safe yet? No, you are not even close to safe. Where is your toque? Do you have a toque? Is there a toque you can steal? Is there one in storage? Oh, no. Alright. Dell, put on the toque. Please just put on the toque. There are pants up here. How much... Yeah, they don't insulate enough against cold. I'll just steal these pants down here. I'm gonna give you nice enough clothing. Well, this is all tattered, so you're gonna be pissed off at it, but I really don't know what else to do. Waiting in safe temperature. In other words, you're doing literally nothing. Did you lose anything? Alright. If frostbite goes on too long, you actually can just lose, you start losing digits and hands, and it's not good. Really not good. So, glad we headed that off. We're probably not at 30 minutes yet, but this has felt like maybe an hour, just because of how unbelievably frustrating some of these people are right now. So I'm going to call it here. JP's really going to be running out of stuff to do, so I think I'm just going to have him on the hunt, and I do believe that I actually did specify the hunt order on the Muffalo, but we never carried it out because they left. So we'll have JP hunt the caribou. Caribou actually, I believe, do have a much higher rate of they're going to attack you if you attack them. I'll be sending him out with Dell to take care of them. Mustache is going to continue researching, but I might actually have him stop and do something else, just because we're much further along in the research tree than I am in terms of construction. Speaking of which, before I stop this episode, I should set up events and power to these. Alright, that should be sufficient. And then Retro's just going to continue crafting. Moogie is going to continue arting. Dell is going to continue being a total dipshit and just having mental breaks for absolutely no reason. Yoshiko's hauling, Booze King is cleaning, and then hopefully recruiting this Heda girl. And we'll be in decent shape for the winter. We're gonna really need to work on our food though. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.